You know the feeling. Someone says something cutting, the whole table goes quiet. Every eye swings towards you like you're on trial for a crime you didn't even commit. And your brain, the same brain that remembers your childhood phone number and every lyric to a song you haven't heard since 2009, suddenly goes completely blank. You mumble something, you laugh a weird laugh, you change the subject, and then 3 hours later, in the shower of all places, it arrives. The perfect line. Sharp, devastating, absolutely flawless. Except the guy's already home eating dinner, and you're just standing there, dripping, arguing with a shampoo bottle like it owes you money. Here's the twist. This isn't bad luck. It's not because you're slow. It's a real, documented thing your brain does on purpose, sort of. And by the end of this video, you'll actually understand why and how to shrink that 3-hour delay down to about 3 seconds. Stick around, because the fix is weirdly simple and honestly a little funny once you see it. Here's what's actually happening in your skull during the insult. Think of your brain as a tiny office with 2 employees. Employee number 1 is security. Employee number 2 is marketing. The second an insult lands, security sprints in, slams the door, pulls the alarm, and shouts, "Threat detected!" before marketing has even finished her coffee. Security doesn't care about wit. Security cares about survival. It's the same system that used to help your ancestors decide whether that rustling bush was the wind or a tiger. And it still runs on tiger settings, even though the biggest threat you're facing right now is a guy named Chad questioning your job performance over dip. Marketing, meanwhile, the clever one, the one who writes the killer one-liner, doesn't even get into the building until security calms down. And security takes its sweet time. By the time marketing finally strolls in with the perfect slogan, you're home, showered, and mid-argument with shampoo. So no, you're not slow. Your brain just briefly prioritized don't die over be hilarious, which, to be fair, is usually the correct call. Here's something that'll actually make you feel better. People assume only awkward, tongue-tied people freeze up in these moments. Wrong. It's often the sharpest, most thoughtful people who blank the hardest, because their brains are doing more math in that split second. They're reading tone, context, audience, stakes all at once, like running 6 browser tabs during a group project. Meanwhile, the person who insulted you wasn't thinking about any of that. They just said the first mean thing that popped into their head with the confidence of someone who has never once run 6 tabs in his life, which honestly should annoy you more than it does. This isn't just a you problem, it's a species problem. It happens at family dinners, it happens in meetings, it happens on dates when someone makes a joke that definitely wasn't a joke and you just smile like a hostage. It even happens to professional comedians, people whose entire job is timing, who still bomb a set and only think of the perfect save on the drive home alone, in the car, yelling it at the steering wheel like that fixes anything. And in the digital age, it's mutated into a whole new species of regret. The perfect comment you typed, deleted, retyped, and then just closed the app instead. The text you drafted at 1 a.m. and never sent. Modern staircase brain doesn't even need an actual staircase anymore. It just needs Wi-Fi and enough time to overthink. Think of it like a boxer who thinks of the perfect counterpunch right after the bell rings, or your GPS recalculating the better route the second after you've already missed the exit. The genius is real. The timing is just tragically, hilariously late every single time. And it's not just insults either. It's the job interview where they ask about your biggest weakness and you say, "I work too hard," and then spend the entire car ride home inventing the answer that would have actually gotten you the job. It's the family dinner where your aunt says something wildly inappropriate about your life choices, and you just nod and pass the potatoes while your inner monologue quietly drafts a TED Talk. Your brain apparently has an entire writer's room on staff, an excellent writer's room. It just refuses to show up to a single meeting on time. All right, let's actually test this. Think of the last time someone said something that made you feel small. Really picture it. You've got 10 seconds. What would you say back if it happened right now? How'd that go? Did something brilliant show up, or did you get that same knot in your stomach as before? Either way, hang on to that feeling, because we're about to fix it. Before the fix, here's what quietly feeds the problem. 1. Replaying it 40 times in your head. You'd think rehearsing the moment would prepare you for next time. Instead, it just deepens the panic groove. So next time, your brain freezes even faster, like a scared dog that's heard the vacuum cleaner one too many times. 2. Waiting for a mic drop line. The pressure to say something quotable is exactly what freezes people. Nobody needs a viral zinger. You just need one sentence that isn't silence. 3. Treating it like a personality flaw. It's not weakness. It's chemistry, plain and simple. The moment you stop blaming your character for something your amygdala did without asking permission, the whole thing gets less humiliating and a lot more fixable. Basically, you've been putting yourself on trial for a crime committed entirely by your own nervous system. Case dismissed. Next.
You cannot skip that first half second of panic. Nobody can. But you can absolutely shrink the gap between brain freeze and clever response from 3 hours down to about 3 seconds. Here's how. 1. Buy yourself time out loud. Instead of standing there silently short-circuiting, just say something small, like, interesting, or, wow, okay. Sounds like nothing, but it keeps you talking, which keeps the clever part of your brain in the room instead of locked outside. 2. Steal their own words and repurpose them. You don't need to invent a whole new comeback from scratch. Just grab a phrase they used and hand it right back. If someone says, must be nice to finally contribute something, you say, must be nice to notice, considering how long it's been since you did. If your uncle says, I'm just joking, right after roasting your career choices, you say, good, then you won't mind if I laugh this hard at your next one. You're not building a punch from nothing. You're just redirecting theirs, like verbal judo, except nobody has to wear the pajamas. 3. Rehearse it, even though it feels absurd. Yes, this means practicing comebacks out loud, alone, possibly in a mirror, possibly sounding fully unhinged to anyone who walks in on you mid-monologue. Your brain genuinely can't tell the difference between real conflict and rehearsed conflict. It just knows a pattern feels familiar or it doesn't.
So, next time the perfect comeback shows up 3 hours late, don't beat yourself up over it. You're not slow. Your brain just briefly chose survival over stand-up comedy, which is usually the right call anyway. The goal was never to win every single exchange or to walk around loaded with zingers like some kind of verbal gunslinger. It's just to shrink that gap. So the next time someone tries it, you're not standing there frozen while security locks the doors. You're already talking. Maybe not with the perfect line, just with a sentence. And the sentence, delivered on time, beats a masterpiece delivered to your shampoo bottle every single time. Drop your best delayed comeback in the comments. 3 hours late, 3 days late, 3 years late, doesn't matter. We've all got one sitting in the vault, perfectly preserved, ready to be used on someone who has probably already forgotten the entire conversation. And if this helped, you know exactly what to do. See you in the next one.